Now, this report was commissioned on the 19th of June 2020 in East London. If you can assist me, Colonel, by going to the commissioning part, who the commissioner was, and the deponent is Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp.
Yes, I don't know this person, but it's someone from East London. It's Elabes Gachmut, look like that, my lord. Streicher. It's Petros Paulos Engelbrecht. Grobelar, yes. Okay. Grobelar, he's a lieutenant colonel. Yes, my lord.
I'm going to go through this, Brigadier, and there may have to be a time when we revisit it again, because I forgot in the morning to give it to my learned colleague so that he can scan it, so that the accused person, accused two in particular, could also view this identity kit as you are commenting on it. But I have already consulted with him regarding that he's aware of this new identity kit, and by new I'm saying subsequent to the one of the 29th of October 2014.
Correct, understood, my lord. And
at page, there's no page number, but the second page will be, and I read, First Class 63610 of 2014, hereby I, Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp, under oath in English, paragraph 1, occupation and position in the South African Police. I am a warrant officer in the South African Police Force number, stationed at the Facial Identification Unit at the local Criminal Record Center in East London, where I am employed as a facial identification specialist with telephone number. Qualifications and experience: I have 28 years service in the South African Police. I am employed as a facial identification specialist at the South African Police Facial Identification Section since 1997. The functions I perform on a daily basis include the following: facial compilations, facial comparisons, facial mappings, two-dimensional facial reconstructions of decomposed bodies, and facial aging. I received training the facial identification functions at the CRC Training Center in Pretoria and facial identification expert status during 1998. I also gave presentation regarding facial comparisons and at the facial comparison symposium hosted at the School of Anatomical Science, University of the Witwatersrand on the 1st of March 2015. During 7 August to 13 September 2006, I gave evidence in the South Gauteng in the following cases: the case of State versus Nkosa and 4 others, a Middledraft case.
Sorry, why are you reciting all that?
Yes, so my lord, let me go to the relevant part, which is, I'll skip paragraph 3, that it should be mutatis mutandis with the same paragraph in Exhibit J. The relevant paragraph is in paragraph 4. On 16 June 2020, I received a request from Colonel Gininda to do an alteration on an image by adding a hoodie and dreadlocks hairstyle to a person of interest. I performed the alteration using Adobe Photoshop C52 or CS2 by adding dreadlocks hairstyle and hoodie with a brush tool. Attached, please find Annexure A, the draft document in brackets that forms part of this affidavit, containing identity kits and control images. Paragraph 5 is the commissioning that we have just referred to. And then page 1, Annexure A, it reads, Phosphorus CAS 63610-2014, a facial composite is a method of establishing a visual likeness of any person through the verbal description of a witness or victim, and which is built up with the aid of identity equipment by a facial technician. The facial description must be established as well as the modus operandi of the sought person to aid the facial investigation. And it says, Annexure A is a draft document for investigation purposes. Page 2 is the suspect information of a person of interest, and page 3 is the identity key, control, and altered image. And page 2 thereof, it's Phosphorus CAS 63610-24. Mr. Makaleni, residing at Mzamo 3942, compiled the face of suspect B. He saw 3 unknown African males in the vicinity of the gas station busy on their cell phones. Later they saw them outside the house of Kumalos. He saw the suspect B at the gate and gave the following description: plus minus 25 years old, plus minus 1.80 meter tall, slender build, a golden insert in upper teeth, not sure, in brackets, regarding the golden insert in upper teeth, dreadlocks hairstyle, facial hair, mustache and beard. He saw something in his hand that, not sure if it was a firearm, witness could not compile the other faces. And there's an explanatory with second suspect, identity kit, unknown African male, plus minus 25 years old, slender build, height, plus minus 180 meter tall, medium brown complexion, upper teeth, so a golden in upper teeth, not sure which side, prominent cheekbones, dreadlock hairstyle, facial hair. And then, as you correctly say, Brigadier, the control image that was used, there are three images. The first on the left is the image that is of the image on the left in Exhibit J, and the one in the middle is the actual photo of an extract from accused number 2's ID. Correct. And then I think the last image is the one where it was now superimposed or altered using a hoodie.
Correct, ma'am.
So first of all, you already know. Thank you to Ramasipili for doing the reading for us, because no, we cannot take the Brigadier reading another statement. Please, no. Thank you, Ramasipili. And he went swiftly through that because it's a repetition. We've already heard, okay, what Mr. Makeleni said. Makeleni said as the description that led to the original draft from Yvonne Steenekamp, and that was done on the 29th of October 2014, okay? Now, speaking of dates, now in this new statement, she says Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda came to her on the 16th of June 2020. I'm going to pause right here and let you take that in. Have you figured it out? Let me tell you. Bongani NTANZI was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. And then on that exact date, Brigadier Gininda rushed and took him a picture, took him a picture, sent it to Yvonne Steenekamp and said, dress him in a hoodie. And while you're at it, make sure you put dreadlocks on his head. He forgot to say, and then put a gold tooth. But I'm so concerned about that, because why did that only happen on the 16th of June 2020? And he said he never saw Bongani NTANZI on the 17th of June. When did Yvonne Steenekamp send Brigadier Bongani Gininda his new sketch? That's gonna help. Let's put the dates together. When did he receive the new sketch from Yvonne Steenekamp? Remember, she's in East London, right? Because Brigadier Gininda likes to give away clues. He gave us the clue that he doesn't know the person who commissioned. So therefore, Yvonne Steenekamp is in East London. Therefore, the method of communication would have been email. What date did Brigadier Bongani Gininda receive the email with the revised image, altered image, with the hoodie now? So funny that Makeleni had so many details. Listening to that statement again, okay? It's so funny when you hear something over and over again, you start to pick up more and more things. So he was able to describe everything about suspect B and nothing about the others. He couldn't even say, no, the other one had a beard, the other one had a hat, they had short, tall, height. Couldn't. But he could describe so many things about, allegedly, Bongani NTANZI. This is incredible. I mean, he's a magician. And I bet you he's turning in his grave, if he's even a real character, because the amount of times his name keeps on being mentioned. We need him to rise from the dead and tell us what in the Mzansi Unfiltered happened here. Why was he only able to describe one and not the other? It's such an interesting concept. But let's continue on, because we are doing Funda Temba. But this time it is Rams who is speeding through with the reading, and we appreciate it. So let's continue on.
And there's also this other one. You have it in front of you.
I think let me just confirm a lot. I have something like that, but it's just that the wording is written differently. But I do have something to this effect, similar to what you have, but I think it's the writing that is slightly different.
Yeah, because this one is an enlarged of this page. And it says this suspect was standing outside the gate, and the descriptors are the same as in the pages that I've read.
Yes, I'm not sure if, let me see. I just don't see the way that you've seen, but the picture, yes, there is a picture resembling what I was shown, my lord.
Yes, like I'm saying, this exercise is going to be futile if it's not being there, so that there's no repetition when I asked you to comment on it. I was just placing it on record so that when it's placed there, I've already placed it on record. So I'm going to request that also this one to be done after lunch. I'll ask my learned colleague to scan it for us so that it can be built.
Understood.
Now, the questions that I can ask from this, whether or not we're going to do this, it's what was the necessity of having this second identification altered from DB to this other one now with a control image of his identification document used?
So my lord, there was no intention to alter, it was to compare. So that is the right context. The alteration, insofar as what was provided to warrant officer Steenkamp, and the altering she's talking about is what we provided to her, to put the hoodie and the dreadlocks as is described by Mr. McAllen in order for her expertise. As I said, my lord, the purpose was to see if she can say photo B or the sample that we gave her corresponds with the identikit that was taken on the 29th of October 2014. That was the purpose, to say you are an expert, you dealt with this identikit on the 29th of October 2014. Here's the picture which does not have a dreadlocks of a person of interest. Can you then alter this picture that we're sending and add the hoodie and the dreadlocks and see if you can match the two? That was the purpose of this exercise, but not to alter the original identikit of 2014, because the comparison was being done in relation to that original identikit, my lord. So the purpose, in essence, my lord, was to try and see if we can link conclusively accused to, as per the photo that comes from his ID, with the identity kit that was drawn on the 29th of October 2014. That was the purpose. Or exclude him if, for example, the expert says no, there's no such in terms of her expertise, my lord.
Where was accused number 2's identification document taken for it to be supplied to Ms. Steenkamp?
It was taken by the arresting officers. As I said, when they arrested him on the said date, my lord, they did let me know. So it was electronically communicated, as Warrant Officer Steenkamp was sitting in the Western, not the Western, the Eastern Cape, East London, sorry, in East London, my lord.
And other than Makaleni, and whom we've established now, that he's not the person that was in the house, is there any other person that made a statement to the effect that the second intruder wearing a hoodie also had dreadlocks, because the description of dreadlocks from the people in the house only related to the first intruder?
That is correct. All the people in the house relates to the first intruder with the dreadlocks. That's okay. That's what it says. I agree with you.
Yes, but my question is this. Other than Makaleni, that we know that he was not in the house, are there any other witnesses that describe the person that they saw running wearing a hoodie, having a dreadlocks hairstyle?
My lord, I may speak under correction, but I seem to recall that the statement we dealt with before tea time, Open Tab is saying, or the record, maybe saying something to that effect, but I'm not sure, my lord. All I can say with certainty is that the people who were in the house only describe the first intruder with dreadlocks, and they don't say the second one had dreadlocks and a hoodie. That's what I can say with certainty. Insofar as to whether there are other witnesses outside, one will have to be have an opportunity to go through all the witness statements and then give a certain answer, so that I don't seem to be saying something that contradicts the docket, my lord.
No. Now, Ms. Zandile Khumalo and Lieutenant Kendall Mangena testified about a reenactment that occurred around 2016 regarding the events that transpired on the 26th of October of 2014. Are you aware of that reconstruction that was conducted? That was before you even were seized with this matter.
The only construction, and I don't know if I'm assuming, my lord, and I stand under correction. The only thing that I seem to recall, it's where General Mokotedi and I think with Brigadier Modise were involved, where they used actors to try and reconstruct the scene. I'm not sure if
that's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, I have a recollection of that, my lord.
And the gist of Ms. Khumalo's testimony, Zandile, is that they were called to 13511 Kutlano Street, Mzamo section for Sloras on that day, and using props, like we say, sort of an acting out and reenactment of that scene. Each person that was in the house in 2014 was called in to say, we've set up the scene, say this thing is SENZO, this one is the intruder, and explain how it transpired. But the gist of why I'm asking you this is, initially, I think at the beginning of the year, or even last year already, I had asked the state to provide us with a copy of the DVD of that reenactment, because I have a statement of a warrant officer Boysen who says he also attended that reenactment. He took videography of that reenactment, copied it into an SD card, and later made into DVD. And I haven't had the benefit of a positive response whether or not that DVD is still available.
My lord, I'll assist. I suppose then the defense wants to have access to that DVD, so I'll assist. I'll try to go through the electronic data that we receive with the docket when I sign for it and identify it and make it available to the defense. So I'll just have to go through the electronic data, my lord, that was given to us.
Why does it sound to me like the lead investigator has never heard of or seen or watched this DVD of a reenactment? Is this not crucial information in his investigation? It's the, I'm jumping up to assist you, Ramasipili, for me. Why has the defense not been furnished with this DVD this whole time from 2016? Wow. That's a revelation on its own. But let's continue on.
That will be greatly appreciated, Brigadier.
No, I'll do my best, my lord.
Now, yesterday, because we were going up and down, I left then when we were talking about the incident of the 18th of, we were spoken about the incident of the 17th of June 2020 at the boardroom in Pretoria North, where accused number 2 instructs me that you were present and you say you were not present. That will be something that will be added, and what transpired in the boardroom. Then on the 18th, you go to Carltonville at Sibanye Gold, where accused number 2 was employed, and you said primarily to check on his alibi that he was at work at the time the incident took place. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord, absolutely. But also just to go back on the date of the 17th, my lord, I seem to recall that it was said, I asked accused 2 to take off his clothing. I'm not so sure whether they took part to check for tattoos.
Yes.
My lord, there will be no reason to do that because there is no statement in the docket, and that's why I said I was not there. But even if I parked it, in the docket itself, there's no statement by either the people who were in the house or outside who gave a description of tattoos. So that exercise, even if I was present, I wouldn't ask him to do that because there's no description that is given that the second suspect or even the first suspect had tattoos. You can just, the description in terms of the dreadlocks, the clothing goes insofar as that, but no description of tattoos was given, my lord.
My lord, I beg leave to approach accused number 2. His hand is raised.
Yeah.
Thank you, my lord. I mean, that's it. Now, accused number 2, you stated that you then confronted accused number 2 with a copy of the identity kit exhibit BB, and you informed him that the person on the left with a hoodie bore a resemblance to him, right?
Yes, according to my observation. So I was basing that on my observation, my lord.
Further that, you then confronted him and said, I'm sitting with information that shows me that you are a person of interest or a suspect in the SENZO MEYIWA murder case, right?
Yes, I did, but that's not how the sequence is correct. But I think the sequencing is not accurate, my lord. That was put at the beginning after he was warned according to his rights, and that this assertion that he was, I'm sitting with information that he may be involved in the murder of SENZO MEYIWA, that was put at the beginning. Subsequent to that, then a response was given to me, my lord, that no, he was not there. And I even alluded to the fact that, my lord, it was interesting to me, or I found it interesting in that he was able to specify the specific date of this incident, the 26th of October 2014, that he was at work. And then subsequently, then we followed that alibi, which was found to be false. So that is the sequence that I'm laying. Thereafter, after the alibi was then denied, then the identity kit then kicks in terms of saying my view relating to the identity kit, which was also denied by accused number 2 in terms of him saying it's a mistaken identity. That's how it unfolded, my lord, leading to the identity kit confrontation.
And at Carltonville, where accused 2 was employed, you then attended upon 2 areas. One at Human Resources to find the cloaking records and other related documents regarding the status of whether or not accused number 2 was working first and whether he was at work on the 26th of October 2014, correct?
I'm not. I don't recall, my lord, that it was two places. It was one facility,
Yes.
and Mr. Mulder, and Mr. Mulder was having access to the history in terms of the activities regarding accused 2 on the specific date we're inquiring about, and the activities of the clocking record. One will see that, my lord, that on the 22nd, when we finalize his affidavit contains the clocking record of his movement around this period, my lord. So it was Mr. Mulder who actually was able to gain us access to those activities.
When I say you went to two separate departments at Sibanye Gold, didn't you also attend to the hospital section also to obtain medical records for whatever purposes your investigation directed you to?
No, I don't recall that, my lord. The examination where I was present when accused 2 was examined was on the 22nd, after he made appearances on the charge of possession in Northwest, and subsequently then I think we went to Dr. Tokwe. That's my recollection, and that is where the dental report was given.
Now, just touching on that one, then we'll continue with this aspect of the visit to Sibanye Gold. The issue of the golden tooth, where accused 2 is now taken to Dr. Tokwe. Other than Magaleni, the witnesses in the house who described a second intruder as tall, dark, wearing a hoodie, did they also describe that that intruder had a golden insert on his teeth?
No, my recollection, my lord, is that there may be one statement that identifies the first intruder as having a gold tooth, but then I think that statement was then supplemented by that person, I think, saying he's not sure. I think it could be Ms. Sandy Kumalo, but I stand under correction, but I can also, after lunch, be specific, my lord. But there is a statement to that effect, but it refers to the first intruder. That is insofar as the people who were inside the house.
Okay. Now let's revert back to Carltonville. Accused number 2 instructs me that at Carltonville, indeed, he led the investigative team to his shaft where he worked, and clocking records and other HR-related documents were obtained. And thereafter, he was taken to the hospital section because there was an issue to check whether the accused had had an injury during a mining accident that the investigative team wanted to follow. And if also I'm correct, Sergeant Mohane testified to that effect, that accused 2 was taken to the hospital section of the mining complex for that purpose.
My lord, if he was taken, and if Sergeant Mohane testified to that effect, it would have been before I arrived. When I arrived, as I said, my lord, the sequence of events were exactly as to where he was. Alibi followed, found to be false. Identikit, which was then denied by him. I warned him according to his rights. Then as I was leaving, I was then called back by one of the members, and that led now to the confession, my lord. And after we had agreed that he is prepared to make a statement to an independent police officer, I departed with Sergeant Mkhula. So there was no other activities where I went to attend to with accused number 2. The only encounter that I had with him, insofar as the medical section is concerned, it's with the doctor, this Dr. Tokwe, on the 22nd. That was the following Monday of June 2020, my lord.
Okay. Now, with respect to now that aspect of you arranging that a statement be obtained from accused number 2 because he had made certain utterances. Accused number 2 will testify, and he has already said in the trial, within the trial, that at Sibanye Gold, you did not confront him with Exhibit BB, the identity kit, but rather you confronted him with a photo that is part of Exhibit S, that will be photo 47, which depicts a red motor vehicle with persons around, and in the background on the other side of the car, there is a person wearing blue clothing with a cap.
No, that's absolutely not correct, my lord. My lord, and I think I dealt with this part yesterday when I was dealing with the issue of the see-through bag. The downloads, insofar, because what is referring to is contained in the downloads of accused number 3 cell phone. That picture with the red car, it's a sedan, and there are people appearing there. That picture, my lord, was found in the downloads of accused number 3. Now, I indicated that on the 16th, we were not in sight of accused 3, 4, and 5. It is after the confession of the 19th, obviously him talking to me on the 18th and subsequently it being written down on the 19th and 24th, that the analysis towards accused 3 in terms of the case number, the firearm that was seized from him, exhibits taken from him, were actually paid attention to. Now, the statement from the downloader, this is now Sergeant Mabasa, from Brixton, where the downloads of Accused 3 were contained, was only made available or commissioned on the 17th of August 2020. So I could not have shown him, the essence of what I'm saying, my lord, I could not have shown him a photo that is contained in the downloads of Accused 3 cell phone because I was not in possession of those downloads. The first data came to me around August 2017 when I received it from Sergeant Mabaso. Then subsequently, then the analysis was done by Kenneth Stein. So that is not correct. I was not in possession of that picture. And my lord, I even said that is why I had no knowledge of this see-through bag when we went to interview Accused 3 on the 30th of June, because Accused 3 was interviewed and measured on the 30th of June 2020, because I did not have that see-through bag picture and the linkages even when we went to interview him. So on the 17th or 18th rather, when I came across Accused 2, I had no access to the downloads in that picture.
I wonder if he gave Brigadier Keninda a whistle, if he would blow it continuously, because the man does not stop to breathe or put on a full stops. He can talk. Wow. Even when the interpreter interprets, he just cuts everything down into half, because this is incredible. Oh my goodness. So Mzansi, all I have to say to this long rant that he had about them going to the mine where Ubongani NTANZI worked is simply, wait a minute. Bongani NTANZI has a great memory, because Bongani NTANZI does not know accused number 3. So therefore, how would he know about that photo before the Brigadier says the 17th of August 2020 when they did the downloads for accused number 3? How would Bongani NTANZI know this in June? How would he know this photo? How would he know it and be able to describe it, including the red polo? This is incredible to me, and it's causing me a lot of food for thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you can figure it out, because wow, this is incredible.